right, we're back with everybody's in the right spot. That's good. Yes, very good, very good. I'm looking for something to break, but we're back with some D&D. Not actually Heroes, the Forgotten. So, previously, you guys were on your track back to the city of Mondovas, which, in my world, is at the kind of central northern part of the continent of Oss. And if you don't know where Oss is in D&D, don't feel bad because most people probably wouldn't. It's like it's the Australia of the D&D world, kind of, Faerun, Toril.
Question,
Faerun's more like
DM.
Europe. Oz is more like Australia. Yep.
Okay, so if Oz is in the southern hemisphere, kind of like Australia, right?
Yes.
So Australia though is kind of very arid, like in the middle and everything, but it's very
hmm
kind of calm and nice on the edges.
Yes.
Uh, how moist would you say that Oz is
It's a
in
little bit of a
comparison?
different setup, so it's not as arid all in the middle. It's
So
more
Oz is
like
more moist.
it's slightly more.
Currently,
Yes.
I am
Uh,
looking
So
for things on my
so
desk to threaten you with
at least
right now,
so
you
like
20%.
asshole.
so
Oh
we're
wait,
talking like full on Betty Crocker moist, like a cake.
listen.
Oh gosh. Violence already. Roll
She
for
pulled
initiative.
a sword, chat.
Start with me, Clan Diesel.
Sorry, there wasn't enough space in the go live tweet to make a moist joke, and I was going to put it, but I couldn't, so I had to put it here. I'm sorry. Continue with your explanation.
You asshole.
So you guys were traveling back from kind of the south central portion of Oz, and you were in the Underdark, and you made your way all the way back with a few little jaunts off on the side there to maybe help some people. But you made it back to Mondovas, and you immediately went back to the guild and walked in the guild, and nobody seemed to be there, but the place was a little bit of a mess. And then you checked the office of Berkeley slash bedroom, and there you found Berkeley and Diona, um, in a very precarious position. So, Maritas, you've left them be, I think, and have went back to the common area, and you guys have just kind of a moment there to um discuss things if you want to before they join you.
Mordecai, I don't think they hired a replacement for you yet.
It does not look like it. If so, that the person that they got is very bad. They've not been through the proper training.
No, this seems like a safety hazard.
Yeah, you know what? I think I still have a broom and stuff around here. I may need to clean this up.
I mean, do you need help?
Yes.
Okay.
Trix is gonna help Mordecai clean.
Mordecai is gonna go pull out.
Yeah.
He reaches into his side pouch, and you see him pull out this big ring of keys.
Yep.
So he's got like the janitor thing of keys,
Yeah.
and he goes over to the closet and opens it up and gets the cleaning utensils out.
Okay. So as you go to the closet, you go to grab where you just reach in because that's where the mop is, and you
That's
just
where
hit
the
the
mop
wall, and the mop's not there. And you look, and the mop's on the opposite wall. That's weird. And then you look around, and all your cleaning supplies have been oddly rearranged.
This will not work at all. There is a system, and you must go with the system.
And as you say that, you've got the kind of the door open, blocking where the hallway would be. You hear, "Excuse me." You hear a feminine voice come from behind the door,
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I did not mean to block your way.
and as you kind of move the door so you see there's a female tiefling standing there, kind of the red skinned, horns kind of brushed back slightly,
I like
Dark
where this is
hair,
going.
just
Continue.
kind of pulled back into, you know, like a ponytail, and she's just modestly dressed, and she says, um, "Can I help you? Did you need something out of the closet?"
Oh, I terribly sorry. I have not introduced myself because you were not here to introduce myself too. My name is Mordecai. I guess I'm a member of the guild, but I also used to be the custodian of the guild hall here.
Oh, you're Mordecai. Oh, this is a little awkward.
Oh, how so? What is wrong?
I was hired to replace you.
It's not awkward. I was gone adventuring.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I thought that was gonna be weird.
No,
Um,
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I mean, Berkeley said you were most likely dead anyway, so, um,
But it is
oh,
okay. My friend over there, the him, and he points at Meridius. He took an oath that he would make sure that I did not die, and so I am here.
well, that's wonderful. And so will you be resuming your position?
I don't think so because there's still more stuff we have to do. So I don't think that I will be the custodian for a while. But however, speaking of that though, I was wondering, has anyone kind of showed you what to do?
Well, I've been taking, well, not really.
Because no negativity, please. But
Mhm.
I don't know if there was like a party or if like somebody came back from a mission and was really celebrating. But no offense, things are amiss.
Yeah, well, Berkeley, like I said, thought that, you might be, you know, uh, and
I know.
so, he may have hired some other adventurers.
What?
Well, I mean, there were already, I guess, a few
There are other people in
groups,
the guild.
so
Yes,
that's not
yes.
really that weird. But they're a little bit of a mess. I try to keep it clean, but they did. And then,
They just probably said, Look, sweeper, go sweep your side over there, do something like this.
what
Hey,
they say
hot
I'm too
stuff."
loud, and so they're asleep actually right now, and
Oh, they thought you were loud and
yeah,
they're sleeping. Well, that is, you know what? It is okay. Let Mordecai help you. Oh, also, not just me. Here's my friend Trix.
Hi.
oh, hi,
Yeah,
Hi.
she's a fairy.
yeah.
Yeah,
You just
she's
see her
really
eyes
nice.
go
I like her
wide.
a lot. Yeah, she is my friend. I like her a lot. She's very funny.
How much trouble would it cause if all of a sudden they weren't asleep anymore upstairs? Just wondering.
See,
They get
you,
really
you and
grumpy.
me, we were thinking the same thing.
See, I got this wand, and it'll play music really loud. And I heard this orchestra once, and they had cannons.
That would be
So,
good.
yeah, I know, right?
That would be good. That would be good. Also, ma'am, I'm sorry, I did not get your name.
My name is Rennie.
Rennie?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Renee. I didn't mean to make the hot stuff comment earlier. I was just making you know. I'm sure they've probably called you that before while you were trying to clean and they were drinking or something.
Yeah, well, that would have been nicer, but yeah.
Yeah, it happens, you know how it is. But don't worry. You know, Trix and I will handle them, and then we will help you clean the place.
Oh, Thank you. And as she's saying that, you hear a door open behind you. Berkeley's door opens up, and you hear footsteps. Mordecai, is that you?
Yes, Berkeley. How are you doing, Mister? I thought you were going to be dead.
Well, we hadn't heard from you guys in so long.
Berkeley, I don't know if you know this, but it takes a while to travel across us. Just
I know,
saying.
but I hadn't heard from you in the. You were supposed to send me messages or something, and
If you'd answer the orb,
well, the
then
orb
you would
has
have
been in
heard
my.
from us.
It's been. Where the hell is the orb at? And he goes back behind the counter. And he's looking.
Trix is gonna whisper to Mordecai.
Somebody fucked up.
Mordecai whispers back, I bet if it was up his ass, he would know what it is.
Damn it. Well, that would explain
Really
that.
uncomfortable.
And who are you three?
Hi.
We met them in the temple.
You know of these two, and Meridius points at Trix and Spoofy. I informed you that they were with the other party that died, and he points at Maisie.
Yeah, and
And
the
her
other
party
party had
Died
actually
as well.
messaged me as well. So yeah, just hadn't met you guys.
This one, and he points at Keegan. He is new.
You
He
like him,
joined
though.
us in the fight in the temple.
He's a very undwarfy dwarf.
Dwarfy dwarf.
Yes.
Okay.
He's like 50% less dwarf than other dwarfs that I have met. He likes
Interesting.
being sober.
It is odd, but to each his own. So you think that these three worked out very well then? Looking
I
at
like 'em.
Meridius.
They are well equipped to handle tasks, yes.
Look at that. You're well equipped to
Trix,
handle tasks.
Trix holds various tinkering tools up to demonstrate she's well prepared.
Look what I can do.
However, Berkeley, we have some things to discuss.
Private, or do you want to do it here? I mean,
We can have the entire group here, but this has to do with us being set up and used. So you decide where you want to have this conversation.
he looks around at Diona and then looks back. Let's do it right here. He pulls a chair over and sits down at a table.
He looks at Berkeley and Diana just to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. Meridius casts his own truth.
Okay.
Frank Castaway.
So anyone within the radius has to either choose to be okay with being a part of this or roll a charisma save.
I am okay with being a part of this. Mordecai does not lie.
Am I here? I'm not
Yeah,
here.
you're
Yes.
with us.
I'll-
You're with us.
You're with
there.
us.
You're there. Yeah, you're there.
I'll allow it.
I plead the fifth
What,
from
because you just rolled a 5, Tim?
the cone of truthfulness.
I mean, to be fair, if you don't want to be a part of it, Keltash, you just have to be with outside of 15-foot range of me.
He just
I
steps,
have
takes one big
slunk
step back.
away. A very slinky slunk.
Trix is gonna send Craig 2.0 to start gathering up some of the trash around the room, though, to help clean up.
Who 2.0?
Craig 2.0. Craig is my homunculus servant that looks like a little pixie. He died last session quite brutally, so I had to remake him, so he's 2.0.
Pour one out for old Craig.
Pour one
Oh,
out.
Greg.
So are either of those two going to challenge my zone disc?
No.
According to the zone, I get to know whether they passed or failed if you did roll.
Right. Well,
Get in the zone. Truth zone.
This mission that you sent us upon with the item to put in the altar of the temple, the one that was valued at 100,000 gold. He kind of looks towards Diona a little bit and then back to Berkeley. Who pulled the strings?
you're asking Berkeley?
Yeah, he's asking him, but he's kind of eyeing Diona at the same time.
Who pulled the strings? What does that mean?
Who sent us there? Who asked you to send 3 of your groups of adventurers there to only have one return?
He looks this was Diona was the one who brought the mission to us.
Very well, if you wish me to go over your head. He turns and looks at her. Same question. Who asked you to send us?
We went over this. It was my patron.
Yeah, and you never gave a name.
You never pressed.
Oh, I did. And you told me that it was not worth my time. It is worth my time. Countless ones have died to do this task.
More than you know, Meridius.
Oh, I'm aware. From what I can gather from what happened, even angels have died for the cause of whatever the hell your patron sent us to do.
There, I think you are slightly confused. What transpired there was supposed to be a protection. But it ended up being something else.
There was nothing protective or good about this whole transaction. I saw who's behind what happened. As a mortal, anyways.
That's where you could help me fill in the gaps. Because we had 4 other teams at 4 other locations at the same time. And all of them went dark. You're the only ones that have turned up.
Trix is raising her hand.
I'm guessing that's behind Meridius, so I don't see it.
He
I'm
points
zoned
at
in on her.
Trix. Yes.
Do you have a map of where they all went?
I have
Or a map,
Areas.
and do you know where they went?
areas where they were looking.
Meridius turns and looks at her. I know what you're doing. Just no information at this time, please.
Yeah. I'm just.
Well, yeah, he knows what you're trying to do because
but
we've had the
ju-
talk.
just- yeah, she's just like, if you could tell me at some point later where they went, that'd be nice.
If you want to know what transpired, then you have to give me information as well.
Sure.
You can start by answering my question.
What is your question? Who the patron is? Not going to
Yes.
answer that one.
Of course you're not.
It's
So,
not for me to answer that.
From what
If
we
the
saw,
patron wish to be known, then you will know.
from what we saw, from what happened to us physically there, this was not for protection. From what I was told when this happened, this was set up to be more of a siphon.
Siphon. Can you elaborate?
What was trapped in that temple, guarded by the angels, when you, with the device you gave me, it allowed them to set it free, siphon its powers from that temple.
No, it was supposed to prevent that.
Miss Diona,
Yes.
forgive me. I am but a humble janitor, not very versed in the way of the world and how things work. But I have observed over the years here in the guild hall that sometimes people and patrons are not forthcoming with what they truly want, and instead only give you the information to help get to their goal. So could it be that your patron gave you false information so that you could go and do what you thought was a good thing and hire the guild to do this in order for what really for to happen to what
Let me-
happened?
Let me look something up real quick because
Okay.
it is a quandary that I'm in at the moment. But hang on one second. Let's see.
I did not mean to put you in a quandary.
But between Meridius and Mordecai, we made the DM have to go back and look at his notes.
I apologize. I did not mean to do this. I was
It's
just making
just-
conversation.
Well, it. Let me just look.
Go ahead. You know what? Take your time.
It is a question that's floating around in my head here that how this would actually work.
Take your time. Take your time. But while you all were talking, you didn't notice, but Mordecai actually went in the back and got some snacks and brought them out to him and Trix.
Is there popcorn?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Okay,
it's
I don't think
not.
there's an answer to this, so I'm just gonna roll for it. So it's either gonna be high or low, and just
Go for it.
Awkward. This is going.
Let the dice decide.
Trix is casually throwing popcorn at Spooky
Trust in the
to
heart
see
of the
if he
cards
notices.
or dice.
the I have faith, all the faith, all the. She can't seem to get the sentence out of her mouth.
Are you okay? Do you need a drink?
Damn, this is a powerful spell.
There is some shit going on here.
I trust my patron. I'm sorry, I totally
He's totally tubular, dude.
fine. I have my own doubts, but the plan is sound. These
Oh,
These
it was sound.
things that
take
reside
what was in
in
the temple.
these temples could destroy the world, and the only thing that is deciding whether that happens or not is some celestial being.
Well, that is true. I mean, we met the celestial being. He was down there preventing this thing from coming out. and then we let it out.
Who
That
let
angel
the
dude was a
bean out?
badass.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
exactly. See, she knows.
In all actuality, we were not what allowed it to fully escape. There was 2 others involved.
Well, we were down there. It escaped. It got out nonetheless.
I agree.
And the celestial is dead.
Us
But-
completing our mission caused this, yes. However, there was 2 that can manipulate portals that were involved with the removal of this being from the temple. Initially, we only saw 1, but I was given the ability to see what happened, and there were 2.
Who were these individuals?
The first individual that showed up, I could not make out a clear face. The second, and he turns to Berkeley, the one I track.
I thought that he had left here or had moved on to something else.
Apparently, he is deeply involved in what has happened. I saw him.
What did
I
he
saw
do?
him take it. He took the essence of this being in the temple with him.
Down steps like that's not possible. That the amount of power that would have been residing there, even in a weakened state.
Do you call me a liar, especially where we stand now?
No, not a liar, but it's hard to understand how.
If I had the ability to show you, I would. I do not possess that kind of magic. He turns and looks at Keegan, and then looks back at the 2. What transpired down there was bad enough that it severed us from being able to contact our own deities that we serve.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Could Mordecai use prestidigitation to show like a slideshow image of what happened?
Not prestidigitation, but if you had some type of illusionary magic, you could.
Does anybody have minor illusion?
Past
Minor
projector.
illusion or something like that, you could probably.
Well, it's the only reason I
project
think so is because
something.
prestidigitation can create an illusionary image.
Oh, well, maybe. It wouldn't be great. It would be like 8-bit animation.
Yeah, I
Close
just thought
enough.
it's small. It's like it fits in his hand, is what it says. So he thought he could make it like a slideshow, like. And
I
here
could
is
do a
this.
fireworks show of it indoors.
The only
Like,
problem is that the DM, according to the DM, y'all never saw the first person, and that's what I wanted to show them.
Yeah, the Meridius was the only one who saw that.
Yeah.
The rest saw the second individual, but
I just wanted.
But I mean, you could try it. You
you can
could
show
try it.
what kind of happened with the second individual
Yeah.
if you
Okay,
walk up and do that.
All right. Mordecai walks up,
Meridius
casts
turns and looks.
prestidigitation, and kind of puts his hands out like this.
She leans in to look at the small
then-
image.
And then makes the images appear.
It's like looking at an iPhone 3G.
So as Marius kind of narrates what's happening, Mordecai makes the image. But then in one image, he messes up. He starts thinking about something and messes up, and it's the image of Trix getting turned into stone. He's like, "Oh, sorry, that is not about that. That is something completely different." And he fixes it, goes back to the image he was trying to make.
And as he's doing that, Meridius looks at them and goes, and this is what happened to the angel that tried to stop what we did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't clear what would actually happen to the Celestial, but
Oh, he died. The Celestial, not Celesting it anymore.
Apparently, there was one in each temple. The one that died
Yes.
before us asked us to check on his brothers.
well, I mean,
That's why, and he looks at Trix, that she asks for the locations of the others that you sent.
Yeah, that was totally it.
That's why we need to come to some agreement here. Because
I mean, Meridius ain't lying, but he's just not telling everything.
your team has proven very resourceful.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we didn't
All-
die.
All of the other teams have most likely perished.
I can
And
tell
she-
you
What you're
some of
saying
she's-
is true,
and
and
she
these
says
things
that
have just
he points
unlocked
at
these.
Maisie. Berkeley, the one she was with, they need to be compensated for their families. As do the others, but she at least knows potentially who they were.
Yeah, I mean, there will be, yeah.
Yeah, Alar, Thorgar, and Lyra, they're very dead. Very, very dead.
And then he turns and looks at Diana. I apologize for interrupting you, but that needed to be addressed. For Maisie
No.
does not need to be here much longer. She will not be joining us in the next endeavor.
Just because I'm detached from my emotions doesn't mean that everyone else is. And as she says that, she almost looks surprised that she said it.
Meridius just kind of smiles.
Regardless, if what you say is true, and she looks around at the kind of radiance that is in the air around you, then we've not protected the world, but unleashed 4 great evils that are slowly gaining power.
And now you understand my anger towards why this is not something you wish to fully disclose.
I can't fully disclose who the
It
patron
is.
is. Yes.
Can Mordecai cast detect magic to see if he can see or sense any kind of like magical aura or some kind of like magical connection coming off Diana?
Sure. Yep. Alright, so you go to cast this, and not really hidden that you're casting something. And of course, the air around you is radiating with magical energy, but so it is it does make it a little difficult to see what's kind of going on. But let's see. This already pulled up.
So Trix has been throwing popcorn to Spoofy, but she's going to try to sneakily throw a piece of paper instead of a piece of popcorn. Just a tiny balled up piece of paper. I mean Spoofy. Did I say Rolly? I may have said Rolly.
No, you said Spoofy.
Hey! Great.
Hey.
She's gonna try to throw a little tiny piece of wadded up paper instead of a piece of popcorn.
Are we rolling for this?
I don't know. If you want to, we can.
I'm down for it.
That's a 28, Tim.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take that L. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, how did that get in there?
That's enough out of you. And zip my mask back shut.
Drake's just gonna keep eating her popcorn.
Okay, so
She chokes on a kernel.
she has a number of magical items on her. Okay. I'm just gonna send it to you.
Secret
Let's
DM
see.
messages.
You can't actually see what they are, so that would be.
Maisie been holding out on us.
It's not Maisie, it's Diona.
Diona.
Hard to convert items into what type of spells that they would be.
Oh, as far as whether he's saying enchantments or divination and all that, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think most of it is just enchantment. What is Zone of Truth? Is it divination?
Zone of Truth falls under. Let's see. It is enchantment.
Most things are enchantment. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he only picks up on the stuff that's on her.
How it's a 30-foot range, or 60-foot.
It is 30.
Well, that is what is on her, and let me look at what this other. Because detect magic doesn't actually tell you what exact spell it is, right? It just tells you that there is magic of a certain kind.
It says for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
There's magic afoot.
Trix is also very sparkly. People get her with this spell.
Could I roll an Arcana check to maybe get more information about that last part? There it is.
You could, yep.
I'd say Meridius is glowing a little bit, other than
Yeah,
Zone of
I
Truth.
mean, this room is lit up like a Christmas tree, especially the Zone of Truth in here is making it. You're almost like,
Okay.
right.
That's a 24.
24. Okay.
Yep. Because Mordecai's having a problem trusting her because she's acting very weird. I just want to tell you that is one of the best messages I've ever got in Discord, and I love it.
And that will be the name of the episode as well.
Yes, 100% approve. Yes. Okay. Do we have?
Only mildly concerned.
Let's see. We have the communication devices, don't we? To just communicate
you,
between
me,
us, or does this
you,
party?
me, and Keltash. The rest of them don't because they weren't with us at the time.
We didn't sign
Okay.
up for the family plan.
So
Yeah.
Mordecai will use the communication device to send a message to Meridius.
Okay.
Meridius. Someone
He-
is.
He kind of turns and looks at you, but doesn't say anything.
Someone is crying in the corner. We're being watched.
Very well. He looks at Berkeley. Remember when you asked where I wanted to talk?
Yeah.
Things have changed. And he walks up to Berkeley and leans right into his ear. The guild hall is compromised and someone is scrying on us. And then he leans back and takes a step away from him.
As Meridius is telling Berkeley that, Mordecai kind of puts his hand up like this, and at one point will point towards Trix, and then another point Spoofy, and then another instance point towards Keegan, and he just sends them a message that says, "Ready yourself."
Berkeley looks back at Diana. Is there anything you want to tell us about this patron? We've had this discussion, Berkeley. And now that the Zone of Truth has kind of brought that out, I can't tell you who it is.
Are you saying you can't, as in you're being forced not to? Or that you won't?
I can't. But
He turns and
The
looks
patron-
at Mordecai.
I don't believe means us any harm, or I don't think that he wanted what happened to happen. I think the intentions were to protect, and someone has subverted them.
Listen, honey, magic objects, you test that shit a lot before you give them to anybody. He knew what was going on.
Not
know
to
if
mention
there's
the
anything
fact
you could
that
test this on.
not to mention the fact of if you can't, that means that someone is manipulating you. And if that is the case, especially where you stand right now, then how can I trust the one that you serve to have been truthful and forthcoming with what our task was?
Well, the only way you can trust me is with the spell that you've cast. That's it. All I can tell you.
What I'm saying is that someone is controlling your actions, whether it be physically or manipulatively. Because if you can't tell me, that means that something is preventing you from doing so.
This I know about. You can't risk someone like even me having that information to give away. He has his reasons.
Yeah, like taking those 4 beings out of the temples and using them for his own personal gain.
Taking. I mean, he did not take anything from the temple.
Meridius walks up to her and leans right into her ear, and he grabs her shoulder with his right hand. We're being watched in this very room.
She leans
Whether
back
it be
around.
by your
She says,
choice or someone else's.
I'm always being watched.
And you think that I can trust you after this, knowing that whoever or whatever is controlling your actions for this outcome and spying on everything that goes on doesn't have some type of nefarious acts?
Trust me or not. But I think for some odd reason, fate has designed this situation for the 6 of you. You shouldn't have been able to survive what happened. Somehow you're here.
So this was all a suicide mission to start with.
Not intentionally.
And he leans back from her after he says that, because he's been standing almost right in her face.
Not intentionally. You were supposed to have just placed the object. It provided the protection that we needed.
Now
And
I
no
see.
further worries.
I see now what the protection was supposed to protect from.
What?
The celestials that were keeping this being in the temple. Because when we placed the item, a dome appeared. That dome is what killed him. Or it. I'm pretty sure
Not
it was
exactly.
him. So see, you know what happened.
The Celestials were a fuel source for the protection? Their energy is what protects the temple, or what protected the temple. But it left the decision of our protection in the hand of a single being. So we were going to
Basically-
convert that into a device that would not negotiate with anybody.
So basically, we were murder squads.
No, it wasn't meant to murder the Celestial. It's not something that one can really do.
Taking the magic
As-
away from a magic being, that kinda has big impacts.
as all this is going on, the more she says, anyone that's watching Meridius is watching both of his hands clutch extremely tight. He's trying his best to keep a solemn face without giving much anger away, but his hands are in tight fists at this present time.
Who built those things again?
What was that, Trix?
Who built those things? She's asking Diona, who built those things that you sent us with?
As far as I know, the patron did.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And how'd you
Where
get them?
is he? Or
I
she?
can tell you.
Of course you can't. And I guess the money that was promised was also a farce.
Oh no. And she reaches around into a little bag on her side and pulls out a large sack of platinum and sets it onto the table. No, that was real. And the others that I spoke of that perished, there will be compensation for their families as well.
Meridius grabs the bag and puts it into one of his bags. So you literally set up six squads with the thought process of none of us returning, all Celestials being no more, and you don't find this at all a problem.
Well, Meridius, I can't say I know you or where you come from. How soldiers act there, but soldiers here follow orders.
We
Don't
follow
soldiers-
orders to a point that does not take innocent lives.
Don't soldiers normally know who's given their orders?
I know who's giving my orders.
How many are involved?
Involved in the planning of
Besides
this?
you and the one that you clearly claim you cannot discuss, how many others are involved?
Just the two. As far as I know, and of course the other groups that were hired.
What do you know of a trident that is claiming to be me?
Is this who showed up in the temple?
It was one of the two, yes. Mordecai showed you him. Far be it that was not a very accurate representation.
I did my best.
I know.
It is odd that two Tritons would be involved in this unusual situation. But I am unaware of why this other one would be involved. How he got there, who he is working with, and how he would have been able to penetrate through the shielding. that that device would have created.
He freely walked through a portal, acquired his objective, and left. But the one that appeared before him made this possible.
To be someone of great power. We need to figure out who this is and stop them. But first, we have bigger
Maybe
problems.
we need to, if you're being watched.
She looks over to the corner. Just precautionary, I would imagine.
You know what? I'm just gonna try this and see how it goes. If it goes bad, I'm sorry. And Mordecai uses his staff and casts Charm Person on Diana.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck. We going there.
It's about to go down.
It's going down.
Wait, the only negative thing
yelling
that would happen is if it
timber.
fails, she knows I tried to charm her.
It's like, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, and she might try to kill us.
I mean, at most, maybe she just tries to kill Mordecai. Mordecai's really
We
good
like
at dying.
Mordecai.
I mean, to be fair, I followed and completed my task and my oath. You made it back to the guild hall.
Mhm,
That's true.
mhm.
I don't want Mordecai to die.
What is
It's
what is the DC?
15. Wisdom 15.
Damn it, clan. That's not going away anytime soon.
You point your staff and you cast it, and she looks over at you. Just continues to stare at you.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Mordecai
this?
smiles. What is what?
Shrug your
We
shoulders.
already have this zone of truth. I can understand that, but the need to control me?
I was not going to control you. That is not what I do.
What would you have me do?
I was just trying to loosen your tongue.
Oh,
It is as loose as it can be.
God damn it.
Can't blame a guy for trying, is all I'm saying. My friend over here wanted more information. I was trying to help him.
Mordecai's a Riz master.
To be honest, we've wasted a lot of time here, and if we know that you actually had survived, we would have picked you up.
Listen, we weren't the one banging in Berkeley's bedroom. Speaking of wasting time.
I contacted Berkeley the moment that we exited, and no one picked up to respond.
And this communication? He looks over at Berkeley. Well,
Meridius also
the
turns.
guild sent me
like,
this the device thingy, and you get the feeling almost like this is an older gentleman. You know how you give you like your parents like a cell phone for the
it's like
first
giving my mother
time,
her cell phone.
and then they've just left it laying around somewhere. And
You gave your papa a laptop. He's never opened it.
Right. You give them the Roku, you show them how to work it, but then all of a sudden they just have it on like Freevee and they're watching unlimited episodes of I Dream of Genie because
No,
they don't
you're
know how
my
to turn
mother
it back
who
on.
somehow turned her iPad to back up to Google storage rather than iCloud storage, and now she can't get any new fucking emails. Ask me how that
We've
went.
all been there.
Obviously, it's been misplaced.
to be fair,
We fail.
when I
To be
tried
fair.
to contact Berkeley more than once on our way back,
Mhm.
We feared that whatever tried to take all of us out also has reached the guild hall and had done the same.
Well, they can certainly try, but they did not, apparently. So that would have been more fruitful. At least I would have got some information on who these people actually are. Like I said, we've wasted a lot of time here, and if we'd have known you survived, we would have picked you up and got this going quicker. Now we've waited for what I'm guessing around 6 weeks.
That's roughly the time, yes.
So these things that have been released, they will slowly regain power and draw to them whatever followers they had in their life before. The longer we wait, the more powerful they get, and as I was saying, you six seem to be oddly able to at least survive these encounters.
Trix is gonna whisper to Spoofy.
Is this bitch saying she's gonna send us to kill gods?
Or not.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Oh.
My job will be to figure out who this mysterious person is. Your job would be to first deal with these awakening evils. I imagine you have some idea where these are. If not, I can at least give you the general location where these temples should be.
Yeah, that'll help.
And finally, somewhere along the way, this Triton has to be dealt with.
When I have the opportunity, I will deal with him. He has something that belongs to my people.
Is that
I
what
plan
was
to
in
get
the
it back.
image?
No.
The artifact or whatever he had that he was using?
From what you told me, Diz, of that encounter, he didn't have it with him.
Oh, he didn't have it with him? I thought he had... Oh, wait, well...
Because I asked him about it, and he told me that I would find out in time.
Okay.
But he never told me that, or he never showed that I had it, that he had it.
Okay, well...
Otherwise, we would have had to hold Meridius' ass back.
He has something very vital to my people that belongs in the plane of water.
Maybe that is what was used to gain access. Maybe whatever this is powerful.
From what I know of it, it would have been a very powerful asset. But it should not be able to open portals that allow for this type of corruption. As I said, the individual that appeared before him manipulated the item you gave me. And then when he stepped through, he was able to acquire the essence and depart.
It would have needed to have been on an energy resonance level similar to the Celestial for it to have given them some type of ability to manipulate this. No. There's questions that need answers.
Would your boss dude give you blueprints of the thingamajigs if you asked him for them?
Can I ask? I can give you a brief explanation. The device somewhat works like it draws in an energy of a certain frequency, we'll say, and
Right.
kind of uses that to activate the other magical effects, which should have been protective sphere around these entities.
Right, but like, if you got me specifics, maybe I could like figure out a way to counter and like shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
thinking.
maybe, but from the images that you showed me, it doesn't seem to look like the device it continued to work. I'm not sure where the energy of the celestial went, but didn't seem to be powering the device anymore.
If you were willing to ask, I'd take them.
She turns and looks in the corner. The request has been made, and she looks back at you.
Oh, that's creepy.
You don't even know. And then Berkeley says, he looks in the corner and says, What? Is there something up there? What? Is there something that watches us in the bedroom?
If so, he has seen more than I cared to see when I opened the door.
He's always watching, even when you gotta go number 2. That's creepy.
I just sent you a DM.
DM.
Dim.
Dum dum dum.
It doesn't quite work that way. You kind of have to know who you're talking to.
Rude.
Yeah. You can speak verbally if you want to.
Oh,
I thought to myself.
Well,
I would like a meeting with your patron.
I think you just requested it, so
and
I will let you know.
He turns and looks at the corner of where Mordecai pointed out. That is, if he cares about what happens to this realm.
Okay, it has been... And she stops like mid-sentence. She closes her eyes, and when she opens them, they're glowing like this yellow-white color.
Oh, that's even creepier.
The voice kind of, when she speaks, it almost has like a reverberation to it, like it's...
Like hers and somebody else's at the same time?
Yeah, it's masked and weaved, and it just sounds all distorted. Your request has been granted.
Meridius kind of crosses his arms on his chest. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
My name is not of any consequence. It wouldn't mean anything to you.
It might. From what we discovered inside of
won't.
the temples, and from what the Celestials told us, I would like to know at least who I'm dealing with.
I've watched at least an age on this earth. Or Toril, rather.
I'm not even from here. And you're asking for us to lay down our lives without telling anyone what was happening. And now you ask for it to be even more. And you aren't willing to at least divulge your name?
This is how it is. Sometimes you're asked to make great sacrifices, Meridius. You don't know why, but I can tell you the consequences if you don't take this task on. I would
The
take
end
it on
of this
myself.
plane, at least.
I would send Diona to her end to prevent this from happening. I would gladly send any of you. But your death is not what I desire. It is the protection of this realm.
I, too, want to protect the ones that are unable to fend for themselves. But how can I trust when you've hidden in the shadows, sent us on a task without giving us the information needed because you were willing to just throw us away, whether we completed it or not?
Diona has spoke to you. Trust is a decision that you will have to make yourself. I cannot give you anything that would make you trust me, Diona, this mission, or anything that has been told to you.
I cannot speak for the others, but as long as the one that betrayed my people is involved, as long as the artifact that I seek is still at large and not obtained, then I'll do what I must. But know this: if you try to cross any of the ones here, until I draw my last breath, I will find who you are, and I will confront you.
This is fine, Meridius. This is what makes you the best candidate to lead this mission.
Meridius
We
turns
will-
and looks at the other
We will
five.
meet one day. You will possibly know my name. And on that day, it will mean nothing to you, just as if you knew it today.
Blueprints.
That day, you will be closer to my equal. What was that trick? Sorry.
Those blueprints. I mean, that could help me start trusting you a little bit. I'm just saying.
I'll see if Diona can get you, though.
Dude.
You asked me to go on blind faith. This will make twice now that potentially I've had to go do something for someone that I did not swear allegiance to of my own accord. But whatever it is that you did with these items that you gave us happened to do, and whatever traverse, twisted, scheme that is going on that changed what they are supposed to do has caused me to lose connection with the ones I love the most.
You see it down his head kind of elevate, kind of, and looks back at you. It is not lost, Meridius, but veiled behind an evil. Something that
If I
you will have
can-
to conquer in your own time.
If I cannot contact them, then for now they are lost.
I don't think it is completely blocked from you, just more difficult.
I do not speak for the others, but as I said, I will follow this path until the one I seek has been dealt with and the item that is lost has been returned. On that day, if I feel I must continue to whatever end you feel is going to happen, then on that day we shall see whether I continue to follow what you've asked or not.
It's fine. I do not expect us to be friends or comrades, but a mission is before you, and these great evils need to be stopped. If I could do it myself, I would. But I feel that you have been chosen for this. Fate dictates where we end up, where our friends end up. Whether we resist that or not. But do not give up hope.
I believe that I will accomplish my goal of what I seek. I just don't know how helpful you will be in doing so.
Eyes close and reopen. Oh, God. Oh. That is awful. Help.
I
Real creepy.
apologize that you had
Oh.
to go through that. That is not how I wanted to meet him.
That's not how I thought that was going to happen either, but I don't always get a say. Help. You. I was able to see and hear everything going on. Help. That's where I can step in here. You have your payment, but you need
For the
something
task
else.
that was done, yes, we do.
Sure, more payment can be arranged. That is required, but transportation be our next concern, because even though we don't know exactly where these temples are, we know the areas that they are in, and they are far from here.
What's another 6-week trek?
6 weeks is
That's
not bad, but it would be good if we can shorten that, and
Yes.
we've
that
come
would
to
be-
some
yeah.
type of agreement that we are going to work together. Looks around at all 6 of you. And Maisie, she looks over at Maisie. Maisie's just like, nope, nope. And then she looks back at the 6 of you.
I've got nothing better to do.
What say the rest of you?
Oh,
I'm in. I don't know what's happening because I'm not anywhere near you guys, but I'm in.
Oh, we weren't being quiet. You probably heard it if you're still in the room. You just didn't have to be telling the truth.
I don't want to be implicated in any truth telling, so I'm pointedly ignoring everything that's going on over there. Y'all can just recap me.
Oh, so he's trying to maintain plausible deniability.
Oh,
It's
you
all
so
right,
you
I'll
stepped
get
out of the
I'll
room.
get.
So
It's all right. I'll get him eventually.
I gotta step out of the room. I step out of the room. I'm like,
You see the little mechanical pixie flying around helping clean.
So if Geltesh stepped out of the room during this time, we need to touch base with him here in just a minute. But the rest of you, she's looking around at Spoofy and Keegan, Mordecai, Meridius.
Mordecai said he was in.
You're in? Okay. Well then, if we've come to somewhat of an agreement, please follow me. You don't have to leave right away, but I would like to introduce you to the crew. As she kind of moves towards the door, Berkeley
Wait, are
stands
these
up.
the ones upstairs?
What was that? The ones upstairs?
Are these the people upstairs that you're going to wake up now? Is that who you're taking us to meet?
No. We're going out the
Damn.
door.
Damn. Okay, fine.
Meridius looks at Berkeley. We're going to have a conversation when we return about you being able to hang on to things that are vital.
Yeah.
Trix is gonna have Craig come back and she's gonna hand Craig something and Craig's gonna fly upstairs and I'll message you what she just gave Craig.
Okay. So are you guys following Diona?
Meridius is.
Okay. All right. So in the meantime, Keltash, were you just outside?
I guess. I
Okay.
wasn't planning on being, but yeah, I didn't want to be like, hey,
Okay.
Keltash, come over here, you know?
Okay. So if you waited outside instead of going in, then as you're kind of sitting out there, you're just kind of people watching, people walking about up and down the street and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, the shadows of the people walking up and down the street, they seem to grow, stretch. And you feel like time slows down a little bit. Less like, and you're like, this is weird. And you hear a voice that says, Keltash.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
Not long enough.
Do you not remember me?
I feel like I have an inkling in there somewhere. I know, right? I know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. Well, you have an ideal, but it's never really happened well. It's never really happened during the daytime so much as when you're dreaming. And as you're watching these shadows out in front of you, one of them starts to rise out of the ground. Out of the shadow, there seems to be this creature. It pushes up out of the shadow. As time almost seems to just stop in front of you. And the creature, as it comes up, it's just this black form of something. And it's like this big mass, and it has these arms that come down on each side, but there's no like head up here. And the body kind of snakes around back behind it and curls around. And you see these little, what looks like eyeballs that start to light up across where the chest is. And at the ends of the arms, you see these two or pincers at the end of each of the arms. You have suppressed me for some time. What has made you change your mind?
Pinching myself real quick before I start talking. I'm not dreaming, right?
It kind of moves, gestures around. This is not really a dream, but not really reality.
I need truth now. I don't need medicine. I need the truth.
Very good. I must say that my attempts when you were younger were probably futile. Probably scared you as a child. But now you have got over that fear. As this thing is like, a good 2 to 3 feet taller than you. And
Whoa. So I'm just looking at Blinky's shadow eyeball chest.
yeah, like it's still just like this black, ominous form as it kind of starts to slither towards you from out in the middle of the street.
I have deja vu of holding gold right now. Am I wrong in that?
As it begins to come forward, the shadowness of it kind of starts to peel away, and you see like this pink purplish flesh that comes down, and then these protrusions that are like almost like muscles, like along where the kind of the your abs would be, but it kind of tucks all the way down underneath the snake-like tail. And then on the arms where the biceps are, there's these protrusions that are like a dark gray, and then the claws also take on this dark gray. The eyes are a mixture of like yellow and blue and some red. And there's not really a mouth here, even though the head, is normally like sticking up. It's kind of tucked down into the chest, and it's almost like it's hunched over as it slithers up close to you. And then you notice there's 4 little arms, 2 on each side of the abdomen, also that reach out, 2 little arms. You've never really seen what I really look like. We have kind of an agreement. It was forced on you, but at some level you accepted it. Otherwise, I would have perished. I was sent here long ago to help prevent something from happening. Do you know what I am?
No. Unless it's gonna kill me, and then I'll hazard a guess.
I will not kill you. The others may.
Um,
Possibly.
Other.
The other quarry. I am from the plane of dreams.
Oh.
You and me. And others on this plane. Hopefully. Have a mutual agreement. You host my spirit so that I can survive on this plane. But there are others. Ones that mean to take host completely over. We experienced them in the woods. Those bandits.
Huh.
But there are others. Maybe many. I will not keep you from your task, but you must be aware that there is an invasion, and it started long ago. And if we do not help, it will destroy this world.
Okay. Fate. Well, you you got the wrong guy for fate
I remember
stuff.
that you had a sister.
Well, no, that's not. I think germane to this, is it?
Twin sister. I remember.
No. Okay, but just pump the brakes a little, or whatever would be the equivalent to pull the wagon lever there.
If I remember correctly, she also had a quarry with her.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Sister was not crazy.
Ah, yes, there's your memory. She has been enticing you to stop taking the medication. You finally listened.
Well, I given it a try there. Yep.
As the door starts to open beside you, you hear it, but it's like nothing's moving or anything around you. And then you see, "Who will speak again?" And it fades.
No, wait, but
and
how?
everything just kind of speeds back into place. And then Diona's standing next to you. Are you coming with us?
How far behind her was I?
Probably right on her heels.
Okay. So
Pretty
after
close.
she asks, Meridius will put a hand on Keltash's shoulder. She's wanting to know if you're going to accept the next quest that they're sending us on. It has to do with the temples that we've already been a part of.
Well, I mean, walk in the park, wasn't it? Let's I'm the only one laughing. Are we I'm looking at you, Meridius. Are we going on a quest?
If we don't attempt to try to stop this, then apparently the whole realm will be destroyed.
Now, for pity's sakes, I can only hear that so many times in the last amount of time. Okay, I don't need any kind of flim flam. Okay, what I need is realism. Okay, I need facts. I need truthful facts. I
If
need
you would have
not.
if you would have came into the guild hall with us, you would have known what was happening.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
what they're asking of us is to find what was released from the temples and put a stop to them.
Okay. Okay.
Is that
okay.
enough fact for you?
Absolutely. I'm here for your protection. Though you really do more of the protecting, I'm here aesthetically for your protection from the beginning with you all the way. Absolutely.
He pats you on the shoulder twice.
Oh,
He's with us.
yeah.
Good. So, come with me. Follow along.
Trix is gonna fly next to Mordecai and be like,
By the way, I took care of the guys upstairs for us.
Thank you.
Took care of.
So, we're gonna take a quick
I
break,
hope you saw that message, dude.
and when we come back, we'll deal with that, and we'll see where Dion is taking you guys, and then if there's anything you guys want to do,
To the
you just
pits
let
of
me
the
know.
nine hells. I mean, what?
But we'll be back.
There's a guy there I want to
Wait.
pick up.
Right? I think.
All
right. We are back. All right, so you guys follow Diona as she leads you through Mondovis, and you head towards the northern end of the town to a little pub called the Wanderer's Rest.
Why does that name sound familiar?
You guys go in, and it seems to be a very popular place. There's plenty of patrons in there. And Diona looks around and sees.
You said it was
Uh,
Wanderer's Rest?
Yep. And
Okay.
she stops her head motion and targets in on somebody and walks straight towards the bar. Over where there is a lady standing. Kind of auburn hair and we'll say very fancy looking clothes, like almost like gold inlays on the shoulder and stuff. I think we have an image here. Let's see. Oh, let's go back to the other screen. There we go. As she walks over and you see her kind of talking, and the woman looks over at you guys and then looks back, and there's a little bit of a discussion there, and then they both come walking over to you guys. Donna says, "This is Captain Stormrider.
As
She will
soon
be-
as she gives the description of the rank,
Yep.
you see Meridius put a fist to his chest and stand at attention.
It is fine, sir. You're not one of my crew. It is fine.
You outrank me. That is all that I need to know.
Well, on my vessel, I will outrank everyone. But for here, and on your crew, that will be up to you. If you would like, I could show you the vessel and allow you to meet the crew. Diona's
Did
told me that,
everyone come with us?
I think so, right?
Yes, I'm here, Papa Meridian.
Well, I know you
came
were,
along.
but I didn't know if Keegan and Spoofy came because they didn't say anything.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I came. I just physically could not say because.
I know,
here.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, not everybody said anything, so I was just
Yeah,
making sure.
no. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all.
I speak for my party, but I don't do anything without all of us agreeing. But in this regard, we would like to meet the crew that we will be serving alongside.
This is just
Very well.
show and tell, right? Where you're not leaving yet?
Oh, we are not departing as of now. No, there's things
Okay.
we must take care of.
Okay, just checking.
Right. Well, without further ado, let's go check out the vessel and this way. And she walks out the door, and you guys follow back behind her as she walks towards the dock area. But as she gets there, she takes a right turn, and a lot of you, it doesn't quite click because you don't know Mondovis that well. But Mordecai, you know that she's leading you towards the airship dock.
Airship, airship, airship.
And as you guys round the corner on one of the buildings, and it opens up so you can see the skies above, she says, "There she is, the Mystic Horizon. That is our vessel." I think we have a picture here Let's see.
Trix has like full blown nerd hard eyes going, looking at this airship because she's like, "This is so cool."
Let's see.
I wouldn't imagine kobolds being a fan of being in the air.
I mean, Tritons aren't either, considering where they're from.
Yeah.
It was the mystic
Horizon.
Okay.
Yep.
I like
Because
the
it
color.
just kind of levitates in the air above.
Oh, holy shit. I have never seen one up close. This is so cool.
Come
You
with
mean
me.
we get to go on that?
As Meridius looks up at it, everyone near him hears a long sigh. It would be air.
You were hoping for a seafaring vessel, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Trix is doing happy wiggles.
How high does that thing go?
Trix is gonna start info dumping anything
At-
she's ever read about
At the
airships
limits,
to
maybe
Spoofy.
about 10,000 feet in the air. I don't know.
Yeah, Trix
I'm
is
not
just
a pilot.
spouting
I have
off.
no idea how
She's
high
just
an
spouting
airship
off
should fly.
facts right now.
Or a plane. Is anybody
Not
an aviator here?
20,000.
Amateur aviator?
That's like thin
I
air.
mean, other than
I
Trix,
was gonna
nobody
say,
else flies.
Yeah, Trix is just
That's
Trix
10,000,
is
you're
like
gonna die.
info dumping shit she learned in
Let's-
school about
let's keep it
airships
below
right now
12,
to everybody.
you
Like
know?
she's
Yeah, I
Well,
think,
dropping
okay.
I
all
think you
the
have to
fun
have a
facts.
pressurized cabin above 13,000. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
about
Trix is
magically
dropping all the
pressurized?
fun facts right now
you
about
sky's
this
the
shit.
limit, baby.
So 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
The pressure would be about the same as the pressure under the ocean, so it should be good there. But I won't have enough oxygen, so we don't need to go that high.
Under
Trix
the
is
sea.
so happy right now.
Under the sea.
Like she's just geeking the fuck out.
All right.
And
So
that's Buck
this
saying
way,
that, not Meridius.
as you can see, the little the kind of entryway kind of leaning down off the bottom of the ship there.
And Trix is now talking about all the different methods that have been developed so that airships can actually fly, and describing all of them in extreme detail to anybody who will not tell her to shut up.
As you approach,
Even if she's close to me, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on not falling off of this thing trying to get
kind
to
of-
the airship.
it kind of creates its own magical like force of air. So as you get closer, you get a breeze off of it as you're walking up the stairs onto the ship. And you guys have met Captain Alara Stormrider there, and she kind of starts to take you around the ship. And right at the beginning, you meet a kind of an older gentleman, not probably in his late 30s, early 40s, human male, bushy kind of goatee and disheveled looking hair. Oh, this would be my first mate, Griffin Ironhand, but he prefers to go by Gears.
Cool name.
Very nice to meet you. If you need anything, I can accommodate best I can. If you have any issues, be sure to run them through me first.
What is your rank?
He's the first mate. I don't know what the rank is.
First mate.
You tell me. You tell me, Buck. What should the rank be?
Does Buck need to know all the official military rankings here?
Considering
This is the
I-
XO,
Help me
right?
out.
Considering that I am a military person, yes, Meridius
Yep.
needs to know.
You can
Gears
help
is
me
the
out with that.
executive officer.
So he as you
XO.
as he looks at him, first mate, because he's not been on a airship
Mm-hmm.
He looks at the captain. First mate, you rely on him for doing everything that you tell him to do, and he extends that to the crew.
Yes.
He turns and looks at Gears, and he puts his hand on his chest.
No, it's fine.
This is how we salute superiors in my realm.
He kind of just mimics what you're doing back to you very well.
And he puts his hand down. Now I understand you are second in charge. Very well.
Trix has
He
wandered
says,
off and is looking at things.
He says, Silva's been looking for you. She was wanting updates on where we were where our next destination was. Well, I've been meaning to get up with her. Anyway, we'll go see her next. As she leads you through the ship, and as she's leading you through, you guys pass a smaller stature person, a female with brighter red hair, like piercing like blue eyes, and she's got like leather looking armor on. She's like got a compartment open on down one of the hallways, kind of half hanging inside of it, as the captain walks up and says, Serafina, can we pass, please? Oh, yeah, Captain, is that you? Sorry. And she scuttles out, and this would be Serafina Imberforge.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hold the procession. Tracks!
What was that? Sorry.
You're up in the sails, right? Tricks?
No.
Oh. No.
She was off on the other end of the deck, and then when
Yeah.
she saw you guys wander off, she went, "Oh shit!" and flew after you.
Oh, okay. All right. You're
And,
gonna want to hear this.
This is our engineer, artificer. She keeps the ship in the sky.
Where would you rank her on your list of people?
Trix is so excited.
Well, she would report up through the first mate, so somewhere in that range, I would.
So as she says that, Meridia stands there just looking at her.
She's got like grease on her face, and she's just like staring back like, okay. She closes the panel a little bit. There. Sorry.
What were you working on? I really. What was that?
Down, Tricks. Down.
Tricks.
Like flicking water at
we are meeting the crew. Once we are done and we're ready to depart, you should be able to conversate with this one as needed.
Like a lot of. I just no.
And Meridius is just looking at her with this look of stop
I've
it.
never been on an airship before. I've never gotten to work on one. I want to know how they work.
Hey,
Goofy, come on, grab
Meridius.
it on. Let's go.
The
Come
captain
on.
Don't
says-
touch me.
Captain says,
I'm not. I'm just air grabbing.
What?
See?
we'll have plenty of time in transport if you want to speak with anyone, as long as you don't interrupt her duties.
Oh no, I'll help. I'll help as we talk.
Meridius turns and looks at Mordecai. Yes, Mordecai.
I get the feeling that they're not so formal with the ranks and stuff, kind of like what you are.
Yes, but I want to show the respect of the ones that outrank me. This one clearly does not.
I don't know if I would say. I think you should just treat everybody equally, and then everything will be fine. Because
But
Is he talking about
otherwise,
me?
I think that there's going to be a problem.
but we cannot treat everyone equally. The captain is in charge of the vessel. We are
true.
not in charge of the vessel. The captain
True.
is superior to us.
Well, see, it's the way that you word that may not come across the best for everyone. I think maybe it's not that she's superior, it's just that she ranks higher
We lost Rose.
Well,
than the other
And-
people.
and that we have lost at least 3 people in transit for sure. But yes, that's what I refer to. If they are higher than me, then, and he looks at the party, and the majority of you have put me in charge, then I need to make sure I report what is needed to the proper individuals on board. There's only 2 so far I have found that outrank me.
Trix is scooched up
yeah.
and is trying to get a closer look at the hatch that was open. that Sarah
I'm
It's
was
slightly
working
closed
in.
now. As
I'm
she,
just saying,
as you guys go by, she kind of opens it and shows you a little.
Oh my gosh, it's
Just
so
a
cool.
taste. We'll talk later. I
Yeah,
like the
we'll talk
wings.
later.
at
Think-
this point, I'm
we
kind
can
of
talk
get the
about those
feeling
later too.
just show everybody respect, and if you need anything, probably go to the captain or Gears.
Well, that is what I'm trying to decipher. If there is at least more than 2 on board. I showed her the respect. I did not tell her to salute me. All I did was stand there and monitor what she was doing.
Okay, I'm okay. All right, yeah.
Trix is very sad
Yeah.
that she's being forced to follow them.
Here's a question for you, Buck. If there is
Yes.
a bosun, would the artificer probably report to the bosun?
Okay, so
Just
the
to correct what I said.
bosun, the bosun is in charge of upper deck. The engineer
Upper
is in
deck.
charge of below deck.
Lower deck. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
in that regard, the only 2 that you've claimed named wise so far is just first mate and the captain that outranks him. There's
the
one other that
bosun-
you might have, but we'll see when we come across it. But yeah,
Okay.
bosun is in charge
Bosun-
of the riggings and everything on the upper, and then the engineer's in charge of propulsion. So they're equal, but they're 2 different sections of the vessel.
Bosun's in charge of upper deckers. Got it.
So
That
he's
is
Mordecai's
facts.
worst enemy?
Yep.
All right.
It's all right,
so-
chat. I'm trying to make sure we do this correctly.
All right. So as they continue on past, and you guys are making your way through the vessel since you entered in from the kind of the lower portion down there. You guys walk past a door that is open currently, but you can tell it is a pretty heavy door. Like it is. She's. Oh well. We should probably stop here, and since we're passing. This is the quartermaster. She likes to go by Whisper. And as you guys kind of, she leads you in, and it's kind of a tight space in here. And let's see, there we go. There. All right, and it's a little bit of a tight space, but you see behind the counter there is fairly tall, white hair just kind of flowing down the back, like black leather tight armor, if you can call it armor. And then as she turns around, you see this white face, these ears that kind of stick out elvish, these dark red eyes, and these red marks on the skin. Pleasure.
DM, is she a drow?
She's not a drow.
Is she a moon elf?
She's not a moon elf. She is I think it's called Shadar Kai.
Oh, I
Bless
see.
you.
I see.
Yes.
As she says pleasure, Meridius looks at her.
The faces just stay straight and like
It
emotionless.
is. I'm glad to know another fellow soldier.
He just stares back at you.
And then
You need any
Meridius
weaponry?
just locks eyes with her.
If you need any weaponry, come see me.
Mordecai may be slightly in love.
Mordecai or Clan Diesel?
Meridius reaches back and kind of taps his trident. I am good. The others may need your assistance.
Very well. The captain's like,
His assistants.
well, we're gonna move on.
I mean-
I'm sure they'll come back and see you. Whisper. She walks
It is
out.
very nice to meet you, Whisper.
Like,
Rix is
be
gonna
honest-
tug Mordecai to make sure he follows.
she's like, to be honest, I don't actually know her real name.
Meridius pings Mordecai with the comms.
Not a sharer.
Is everything okay?
No.
Stay with the party, please. We will figure this out in transit.
Okie dokie.
Meridius just shakes his head at that response. Doesn't say anything.
So as you continue on up some stairs, she's like, well, since we're on this level, we should stop by the mess hall, and as she kind of pokes into that area, there's a small little cafeteria area with several tables and benches, all fastened down to the floor. And there is like a little swinging door that goes into the back as she goes around, kind of like a counter area, and through that door, there is a tiefling inside the kitchen. This is Flint, but he tends to go by Sizzle. Everyone has their
That's a
nicknames.
little on the nose, don't you think?
I like you. You shoot 'em straight, don't you?
I try to.
The new recruits. The captain's like, no, these are our passengers. Oh, I got you.
But if you need help, I did work in the kitchen at my last job.
He's a great cook.
I'm not gonna
I
turn
am
down
very
help.
good. I'm just saying, if you need something, I have no problem helping out.
I'll just say it takes forever to make enough food to feed Blast. I mean, the boy can just eat and eat, endless.
I don't think
Do you
we
have
met
Bayo on
Blast.
board?
Who is it?
I
What?
said, do you have Bayo on board?
Bayo? No.
I think we have Rolly on board.
But Bayo eat raw meat all the time,
That
Well,
was the hardest part with Bayo, was just getting the raw meat.
I'm
right?
sure you guys
We
will
had
get
to
to
get
know Sizzle very well, as he will provide all of your meals.
Yeah, always
We'll,
be
we'll
friend
see
with
you
the
in a
one
little
who makes
while.
the food.
I noticed his last name is Noctis.
Yes,
Does he have 3 other friends?
maybe.
Is there someone that works with him in the back of the thing? It's like, and I've got a new recipe.
New recipe.
He is a prince. You'll address him as such.
You are Sizzle.
That's it.
And
Do you
Trix
know
is
how to
making
make-
random sizzling sounds?
Calamari.
Like octopus?
It is squid.
Isn't that some kind of cannibalism?
Trix was about to whisper to somebody, isn't it cannibalism for him to eat fish?
It is
Not at the
not-
moment,
it
but
is not a
I think
fish.
I could figure it out as he kind of taps a book that's on the counter.
I can give you a recipe for making.
See, there it is. I've got a new recipe.
I had to play into what Clan was saying.
See, there it is.
Yeah, Trix fully agrees with Keltash, though. Isn't that some form of cannibalism?
As he hears that, Meridius turns around. I am not a fish.
That's more if Meridius was like
And looks at Keltash.
Davy Jones from the Pirates movies. That
We
would be
have-
cannibalism.
We have had this conversation.
Well, listen. I was just saying. I saw it written over Trix's face. I know, friend. Listen.
I didn't say
look
it
at-
out loud, though.
Look at me, and look at her. Who's gonna actually? I mean, come on. I was just. She was.
I
it
have
was-
heard you make the comment of me being called fish sticks.
Well, now. See, that was just
Trix is
lapse
laughing.
of judgment.
You hear from
Is what
behind
I
you,
was.
Meridius. That's nice. You guys have nicknames too. That's great.
Yeah.
As he
No.
says that, Meridius about faces right into him and goes, "That is not my name."
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean-
It is all I can do not to end this one, and points at Keltash for giving it to me.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean,
I'm gonna kind of behind Meridius, like give him like the yo. Let's talk later, homie. Come on, yo. All right.
the captain's like, well, anyway, we've wasted enough of your time. I'm sure you need to get dinner prepared. Shall we?
Walk by high five.
Meridius bows slightly.
And you guys go out of the kitchen area and out of the mess hall and continue on up to the upper decks. And you run into, this is our bosun. Bosun Silverstream.
Bosun.
As she's kind of just doing whatever a bosun does on the top. Doesn't really have any
Bosun's
crew
doing
to
bosun
manage.
Dang.
Doesn't have any crew to manage up there, so you know.
Oh,
Smolder
she's
much
hot.
today, good lord.
The
Oh.
DM just broke my soul, chat. He doesn't even know what a bosun does.
Woo!
I don't
How
truly.
many of this
I've
crew are
read
we
what
gonna-
they do, but you know, I'm not gonna pretend like
look.
I'm.
How many of this crew is Mordecai gonna fall in love with before we leave?
How many of this crew are we going to bang before this adventure's over?
Trix doesn't roll that way, but Ellen's very happy about the assortment of
I
characters we
think-
have here.
I think Trix is gonna make a concession. Come on.
Did you go to Chat GPT and say, make me a crew and make the 90% of them completely bangable?
Oh,
It
have
was
we
in the
met one
times.
that's
Yes.
not bangable yet?
That's not what I do in mine.
I'm confused
I
here.
just-
Are
I just
any of them
pick
not
ones.
bangable? idea.
Deals goes, I want a crew and I want all of them to be at least semi-bangable. Buck goes to the AI art thing, give me 5 dead kids.
8. 8. Give me 8 soul sucking children.
Give me
Boom.
8 undead children, please.
I mean, the pirate was hot.
Nah, man. They've all been hot.
I'm talking about the pirate I made those.
Oh,
floating
your
with Paladin.
pirate was real freaking hot. Yes. Yes, she was. So don't hate me, but I have a like semi-physics-ish question with an
Uh-oh.
airship and the ferry.
Okay.
Does she have to not be in the air when the airship is moving so she doesn't get left behind?
No, it kind of creates like a sort of a
Like, you know what I
field
mean?
around
Okay.
it, so that
Okay.
you're not just blown away.
Listen, I had to ask.
I mean, there
Does
is
she
some
like-
wind
be
that
like,
does
"Bye,
pass
Trix."
through. It's not like
Or
this
based off of
eerie
the
where you're
door.
flying through the air and you
Right.
don't feel any wind. but it
Okay.
prevents.
She would have been
you know,
sad if she had to walk around the entire time we were on the ship.
As the party waved by Trix, as the ship takes off.
In the event of a plot
Oh.
emergency, can the ship become a spelljammer?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay, so you guys just kind of going by the bosun, I guess. So, since we don't know.
Meridius looks at her. Looks at the. You said we're on the upper deck. Looks around.
Yes.
Where is your crew? Surely you don't do all of this alone.
I have been. But maybe you guys are gonna help. He looks over at the captain.
Keltash and Mordecai.
I'm spoken for.
We could assist you, and points at the other two, if needed.
Yes,
That would
we
be
could,
amazing.
And kind of
Yes.
looks at Keegan. I'm not sure if he meets your requirements, and he kind of holds his hand down to about Keegan's.
Hold the ride.
Oh,
Grabs his
And-
hand,
and-
kind
and-
of moves it off
and
his
cracks,
head,
and cracks a smile.
gives him stink eyes, just looking right up at him. Just, you're upset.
What
You
I
just
am.
call him fish stick.
Meridius is verticalist.
Verticalist.
Oh man,
this meet and greet has been more entertaining than I thought it would be. Well, we might as well go meet the helmsman since we're up here, as she leads you around into. Yep. It's kind of like probably like a cabin area in the middle of the ship there, probably. So, since it's a magical flying ship, it's not actually like a real ship, you know. So Actually,
Diz just
heck,
changed the whole physical dynamics of a vessel, chat.
And Buck is so upset.
it's magical.
He said, "What do you want from me?"
It's his world. Let him do what he wants.
It's fine. I'm here.
Buck's just gonna die a little inside the entire time we're on the ship. And it's gonna make me laugh.
All right,
Meridius
as you guys
shows no phasing whatsoever.
As you guys walk in here, you see the helmsman, a dwarf, with like a white grayish beard. Seems the kind of a jolly soul as he turns around and looks at you. You got kind of a funny look on his face. Who the fuck are you guys?
I like him.
We don't really have a group name.
Well, you should work on that.
I agree. We do need a group name. I
We're
agree.
just
we
the
do need to work on that.
motherfuckers.
We
No.
are.
No.
That sounds
that's
pretty
good.
good. I like the motherfuckers. Yeah.
It
No.
hurts my soul.
We are not. We are not the. And he looks at Trix. We are not that. We
As
are
far as I
from
know, I have
the
fucked
Not
no one's
Actually
mother.
Heroes Guild.
That's who you worked for, right? I've heard of them.
Yes. That is who
You
we
need
are
like a
at
team
present.
name.
Well,
And he
you
stops.
see, if you, since you all are sailing, of the sailing variety, you would appreciate your acronyms. I guess we would be
Nah.
He turns and looks at Keltash. You are not allowed to discuss titles when you're on medication.
nah.
We're
You have
just the
medication?
whoopsies.
As he looks over
well,
at you.
Just a
I mean-
stiff tot at the end of the day.
However, I do have a question for you. This was proposed before we made foot onto your vessel.
Mhm.
You are the one controlling height and speed, correct?
Yep, that's me.
What is the max? And he thinks for a second on how this would be worded for air travel.
What is the max
Altitude.
capacity? What is the max speed?
That this vessel reaches.
How
Well-
high can we fly?
Let's just Google it. I think you said 12,000 feet, and you started.
No,
You can't breathe anymore.
1,200 is what
1,200
they were saying. not
Hell, I don't know.
not 12,000. 10,000 is going to kill us all.
It's magic, though. We have a magic.
Right.
Yeah,
Magic
imagine,
bubble
they
so
could.
that Trix doesn't fly
We can
away.
literally. So,
The flying up
are
that
we,
high would
are,
slow you down. I would.
are we
imagine.
like 747 or SR 71 high? Like how high we fly?
Hey, that's
Are
why
we
I
s-
asked, is it a spell jammer?
But
Right.
It does say up to a maximum of 10,000 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
That's the max it can
for
go.
this vessel. Right.
Yeah.
But
So
man,
just to give you all some quick perspective, Pikes Peak, one of the more well-known of Colorado's 14ers, is 14,000 feet
Right.
in the sky, and it's hard.
And
to
you
breathe.
got to wear oxygen tanks
So
to
we
fully
gotta- we
make
gotta be
that.
a bit below that. Yeah.
That's why I was like 10,000 gonna kill us.
You're going to be sweating real hard.
Shallow breathing.
It's fantasy. Why you gotta make it so real? Motherfuckers. Imagination!
Hey, I'm just addressing the DM's NPC. He can make it whatever height he wants to. I'm just wanting to know.
I'm addressing all the out of character peeps here.
I think it would be amazing if
happened?
Keegan had a cat that he carried around.
baby magic cat, look how chubby this thing is. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
where
my
Keegan
God,
secretly
he's
had a
so
cat in his
lovely.
pack the entire time that he
Yeah.
pulls out
And
in
then
the
he-
evening.
Then when he goes to rage, he goes, I have to set you down, kitty. He sets you down and
That would be
rages.
great. Have a little palico like in Monster Hunter. That'd be great.
Keegan's
put a little
got
armor
a
on
little
him.
cat that bamps back and forth between like him and like the Feywild or something. Just
That'd be sick.
Dang.
We could have little matching armor sets. Wouldn't it be cute?
there you go.
What is that, like a blink dog? You can have a blink cat?
Yeah, he can have
Blink
a blink
kitty.
cat.
Blink cat.
Yep.
Blink cat.
Blinky the
Lord.
blink cat.
Yeah. All right. Is that all you have for the helmsman? Or?
I only wanted to know how high and how fast the vessel can travel.
How high?
Your response should be, he can't tell you that, but he can tell you that it don't take money, don't take fame, don't take no credit cards to ride this train.
But it might just save your life.
That is the power of love.
That's the power of love.
It says that on average, an airship can go about 20 miles per hour. But this one, I mean, it looks a little more souped up. So it might
I mean-
actually go faster than that. So.
It's got turbo. This is Airwolf.
Yeah, it's got a Timmy turbo.
Yes.
It's
It's
me.
got a two-turbo.
Undetectable and hauls ass.
Exactly.
Stealth
Maybe
fighter.
maybe that artificer's got it supercharged down there in it.
If she doesn't have it souped
Exactly.
up yet, Trix is gonna help her.
It runs on Magin. It's got 2 Holly double pumpers for carburetors.
I do got a question. Where are you getting this information from?
Google.
So there's stuff
It's
out
just
there
a-
about airships.
Yeah,
like
for
like
like
I
oh,
haven't
yeah.
D&D shit.
I didn't
He
even
said
like
Google.
dive deep into there. This is just the top answer that it gave me. This
It
is
comes
from
from
Eberron.
Ocean Sky. It's a theoretical airship plane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of crap you can find the stuff for D&D like this.
You're
Yeah,
a
in,
theoretical airship plane.
Earlier
No,
in
this
5th
is like
edition, they actually released some like nautical stuff. Like a whole
Mhm.
stuff's on nautical, like so you can have sea battles and how all that works. Because you would imagine that not everybody knows how all that would work.
Facts.
So-
Imagine.
However, we got one that knows
Yep.
nautical battles.
Oh, the Reddit articles go really deep.
Subnautical
Yeah.
battles.
Hey, I know both. Thank you.
Anyway,
All
sorry.
right. Navigators. Yep. So, Silva.
Oh,
so
yes,
she
the navigator.
leads you not back out of where the helmsman was, but through a back door there, and kind of there's some other like rooms down this hallway, and she goes down and opens one, and it's like an fairly large room with like maps and all kinds of charts and stuff all over the place. And there are two individuals in this room, a tall female human and what looks to be a gnome, a female gnome. This is Silva Wind Whisper. She is the navigator, and this would be Luna, her apprentice. Pleasure to meet you. She walks up and puts her hand out.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. I am Mordecai. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
My pants. Yes. Yeah.
Captain, I wanted to know if we had a heading yet. Wanted to get to
Deanna
work.
Is whatever her name is, Deanna, with us still, or did she stay down below?
She's tagged along me.
So those places that we were talking about earlier, where you sent the other ones, you got any ideas on map where that was?
Yes, we actually need to discuss that. If
What
we have a
is
place
Luna's
we could
last
sit
name?
down. She didn't give it right away, but if you are asking her, she would say, Luna, Briarfrost.
You're so cute.
She pushes her glasses up.
Is there maps like laid out of stuff that they're trying to coordinate of a heading in a direction?
Yeah, there's just various maps. Like it's like they didn't know where they were going to be going, so they've
Okay.
just been kind of looking at all different areas of Toril.
I would say that Meridius walks over and starts looking at a map. Do I recognize one that could potentially coincide with what Trix has information on?
There is, well,
just from what she found in the temple.
What did you guys figure anything out from that? I'm having trouble remembering.
I figured out that it was a map of the temples, but we didn't have any kind of like scale or any kind of scope there, just the general relation of them to each other.
So looking at it and just going from memory, I would say that you would need to roll an insight check with disadvantage, since you haven't studied this stuff or anything, or
so
yeah, you're not studied.
The lowest for insight.
Yep.
I rolled a 14 and a 12, and then I have a +4, so 16 is my lowest for disadvantage.
16. So you're not. It's not clicking as of yet.
So I look at the maps. I look over at Diana. We need your information.
Well, I know where the areas are.
Yep, that'll give me it. Those areas would be nice.
There's one that we have a little bit closer of the coordinates of.
Can you show us on the map?
Yes. So as she walks over,
and as she's walking over, Meridius looks at Trix and motions for her to.
Oh, Trix is flying over
closer.
the table right now.
There's like a map of like Toril where everything's kind of laid out, and she says, "Here in this area, the area of," and she's pointing towards like the southern end of Faerun. This area here, it's a very dense jungle area by the name of Chult. That is where one of the places is, and that is probably the most accurate location that we have.
That was Chult.
Chult, Chult.
As she points that out, Meridius turns and looks at Trix. Does that seem to match distance from where we were?
I don't even know which of the dots we were, man. I need more context here. I need
Did
more
you
than
have-
one dot.
You made a drawing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think she like took a rubbing off the floorboards or something.
Yeah, you
did.
put a parchment down and rubbed.
Yeah.
do you have something that you're not showing us?
We saw
She
a
d-
thing.
She does, and I informed her not to give you information until I could trust you.
Fair enough.
However, knowing that you are not in control of this situation, Trix, if you would be willing to show them what you acquired in the temple. And he points at the captain. I trust her. And then he points at Diana over her.
Trix is gonna like mock salute and pull it out of her bag
All right.
and hold it up so the others can see it. Because she's like flying above the table in front of them so that she's not taking up the space along the edge.
This is what I got.
There's this. Ooh. Little lower.
Oh, sorry.
She's got like a protractor out, and like trying to.
And
figure
she's
out
gonna
the
sit
di-
it down on the table so that Luna
distances
can
here.
reach it.
And if
See, I'm not great with
Eh.
maps when I don't have like maps to look at.
and Silva kind of leans over and is looking, she's like,
And guys, where were we?
We were in the southern part of Osse.
down here, so
That's
that would be this.
specific.
And Meridius finds Osse on the map and points kind of where he thinks they should have been about 6 weeks ago.
So, as she's plotting these out,
Since he's been to
She-
that desert.
she plots the one point down in kind of the southeastern portion of Osse, and then the other she knows is in the Chult area, so she lines that one up. It's here, and then from those, she points to one in, and I may be butchering this. It's either Ancrom or Ancorum. Ancorumi? It's like it's what would be if you kind of lay out Toril on a map, it kind of would be where North America is. Okay. In that area. This is odd. And then down here, this island off of Katashaka. And the last one, at least you're lucky there. Better than Northern Corridor. It's in Southern Corridor.
Baldur. I miss that place.
Okay, so I missed some of those because I was trying to like find a map to get spellings and such.
I can spell for you here if.
Yes, please.
So you've got the one in Chult, which is in Southern Faerun,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got the one that is in Ancorum. It's Anchorome. I really haven't did a lot of things in that area in Toril, so I have to look at the pronunciation of it. And then the other one was plotted on an island that looks to be to the eastern side of Katashaka. It's Katashaka. Katashaka. And then the last one is in Southern Karator. It's Kara-Tur.
Okay, one more time on that one.
Kara-Tur.
Thank you.
Ladasha.
A beautiful land that place is.
Everybody kind of just looks over.
What?
Is that where you killed a man and you had to run from?
What? 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 No.
You killed a man?
No.
I was joking, but that denial concerns me.
No. And Spooky's gonna take off his mask. It's my homeland.
Hmm. Then the captain says, "The kobold, may want to be careful around the helmsman there, kobold."
That's why I keep this thing on.
Yeah.
Are you implying that your crew and my party may have conflict?
They shouldn't. They should obey orders, but still, just be careful. Everyone's personal opinions kind of seep into decisions you make every day anyway, so even if you have orders.
It is okay. I'm a tiefling. I'm used to it.
I think they're used to tieflings on this vessel, Mordecai.
Yeah. He keeps them fed, so I think you're safe.
My kind are less likely to go independent. We don't roam too far from the class.
As he says that, Meridius turns around. None of that shifting on board.
Oh, yes. No shifting on board. Yes.
Where will be the first destination if there's 4?
What's closest?
Diana, well, I mean, from what you guys can see, the closest one would either be probably the one in Katashaka or the one in Southern Karator. But Diana speaks up and says, well, those 2 would be the closest, but it may not always be the best idea to go to those first. Do you have an opinion on this, Captain? Do you have any contacts in any of these areas? And the captain says, yes, I have a rather important contact in Chult. It may be a good place to start. They both kind of look over at you guys. But you're the ones who put in your necks on the line, so
Meridius turns around and looks at the other 5. We don't really have a lead. And
Captain, is there
as
a room where
such-
we could speak privately with the party here? Yes, this way. Excuse us, Silva. She says, of course. And you guys walk out, and kind of just down the hall there is the captain's chambers, and you guys walk into there. It's a very nicely decorated office, very very roomy in there, and there is like a little conference table area off to the one side, so you guys can all be seated or whatever you prefer.
A- As that happens and they lead us out, Meridius looks at Diona as we enter the conference room. Why are you concerned about where we speak when you are constantly being surveillanced?
I'm not worried what the patron sees, but other people. The crew may become squeamish if they hear about what I'm about to tell you.
Very well. Another secret. And he just looks at her.
She speaks to everyone. She says, "We have a little more information. It's not much, but now that you know that these are temples of fallen deities, of course you've been to the temple, and I imagine you have picked up on the deity that was resting there." He looks around.
We know of what was there, yes.
Well, that deity was over slimes, oozes, things of that nature.
Have a distant glance. A distant, yes. Oozes.
That is not all that it did, but
Keltosh got real closely acquainted with the slime.
Yeah.
look, Meridius looks at the captain. Have you been told what we're disembarking on?
I know that it is a mission that is dangerous, and the crew knows of any mission that we go on is dangerous. But from what I've been told, um, the party that Diana was going to bring us, which seemed to be quicker than I thought would happen, but that the party would handle going into the temple themselves.
So you have not been fully apprised of the situation. I see. And he turns and looks at Diona.
It was on a need-to-know basis.
You don't feel that the captain, at a minimum, needs to know what you are asking them to do. Very
she
well,
said,
then.
She won't be in the middle of it.
And he turns and looks at the captain. This deity that she speaks of that manipulates slime didn't just manipulate it. It converted their followers into the undead. There is more at stake here than what she is leading you to believe for you and your crew. Not just what we may or may not be falling victim to, and he motions to the other 5 members of the party. If we go into the temple, if you are to escort us, as it were, to our locations, you as a individual of authority should at least know what is happening here.
He looks over at Diana. That's what we're doing now, Meridius. To be made
No,
aware,
you're not.
and
You're giving them half answers, half information, just like
What
you
would
did
you-
us.
what would you like her to know? That if you guys do not complete this mission, the world will end?
No,
Yes.
that if we go and disembark the vessel and they await us, that something worse may come for them while they await our return from the temple. Because if what happened in the temple we were in has already transpired in the others, then there's nothing holding the evils at bay in those temples.
This is true. But like I said, they are still weakened.
I'm not talking about what was released, I'm talking about what was left behind. See, and he looks at Diona sternly. You see, you weren't there. You didn't have to fight the undead and a manticore. And he kind of turns and looks at Spoofy.
It was a chimera.
Well, but he turns and looks at Spoofy with his angry look because of how he butchered it. And watch the travesties that happened in the temple. You just bark the orders. Anyone that's going to assist us, at least the one in charge, should know exactly what is to be expected. Shall we not be able to complete our task and something comes out of that temple other than us?
If you fail, it won't matter.
You think that we're the only adventurers in this realm that would take up the cause? You tried 6 units,
I actually
and
had
all
my
of them
mind.
failed but us.
I actually had a line on another group. It kind of broke up. It was a smaller party, and there was an issue with one of them. Something with the vampirism or something, and the other one had to get back to his other party, but you guys are the winners of this one, so maybe if you fail, I can try to put them back together. But really, chickens are slim these days.
I'm not saying that we are not capable of attempting this job. I'm saying that if the one piloting the vessel and asking her crew to risk their lives, she should at least know the full story.
Sure.
Meridius, what's stopping us from telling her what's going on after we leave?
I want the one spying on, and he points at Diona, to understand what is happening here. And the manipulation that he plays isn't just going to continue to be one-sided and going to leave the people out that their lives are at risk. Because I know he's watching you.
Devil's advocate. Could it be that the captain and doesn't care? I mean, she's getting paid, right?
We don't know
You look
that.
over. I mean, I don't like to speak of such things, but we are being compensated very generously.
I mean, you're a crew for hire. You're not part of some kind of expeditionary force or armed forces, military kind of thing, right? You're the captain because it's your boat and they work for you and you give them ranks based on whatever, right? So I mean, it's not just playing devil's advocate here, Meridius.
No, it is much appreciated what Meridius is trying to do. But we don't always have to know all the details, and to know that these missions can be deadly. It's always the case, so. Rarely is it just a cargo run.
That is what I am getting at, though. Deadly is not the end game here. Catastrophic ruin of the realm is what is at stake.
Yep,
According to her.
Can't do a lot about that, but we'll do our best. And I mean, if it is end of the world stuff, then now that I know about it, I'm glad I'm at least involved.
That is all I wished, was for that you, at least you, were aware of the perils in its entirety.
So, you're familiar with the deity that you face there in the first temple?
We know its name.
The other 4 temples are similar, but they are of different domains. The temple in Chult is said to house the fallen deity Kirin Sali. Her domain is the undead.
As they say that, they see a small smile form across Maria's face.
And any spellings would be appreciated.
Kirin Sali, Kiransalee.
Okay.
And I may butcher these other ones. I'm not as familiar with
That's
them.
fine, but I'm not about to try to pull the spellings of this shit out of my ass.
The temple in Akorami, or however how you pronounce, I'm gonna have to look that up. We'll say North America D&D is Veron. It's Vhaeraun.
Vhaeraun.
Aum.
Jesus. Did Buck name these?
Fuck no, I did. Don't even go there. I ain't
No,
got
these-
nothing to do with his campaign in that regard.
These are like actual deity names and just kind of working what they actually are and what they do and stuff. The domain there is trickery and darkness. The temple in Kadashaka houses Zinzerina. Zinzerena. Domain of assassins, lies, and illusions. And the temple in southern Karator is Silvatarm. Selvetarm. That one is a little more tricky. There's less information on it, and it seems to be something of a domain of emotions or something like that. So if any of the religious characters here, any of the paladins or cleric, can roll a religion check to see if you know anything beyond what she's telling you about these, because they're
I'm
not
so
just
rolling.
That is a 19 for spoofing.
Okay.
21 for Meridius.
That's 15 for Keegan.
Keegan's a little out of touch on this stuff. So.
Hey, everybody, I don't get out much.
So Spoofy and Meridius, something is kind of jumping out at you guys. These names all tie back to a group of deities that were related to a greater deity by the name of Lulth.
Lol.
I know that deity.
You know that one?
Yep.
I think we all kind of do. I had a bad experience. Is the low charisma ranger had to try to talk her way out of a fight with a goddess.
So as all this is transpiring, Meridius is looking across the party. Potentially noticing that Spoofy's interest is piqued. Turns and looks at Spoofy and says, "Do you know what they're referring to?"
I really wish I didn't,
As do I.
but I do. I do.
It sounds fun.
Do you
This
want to
is-
share with the rest of the class?
Meridius takes a deep breath, looks at Mordecai and says, "It has to do with the deity of Loth.
I know that one.
They are somehow intertwined. This group of individuals that were broken free."
Does this mean that we got to mess with spiders or driders or spiders and driders? I don't like either one of those things.
It
Many
could be a
legs, they move strangely.
It could be a possibility. It all depends on if and where we can stop them.
Why is it always her, though? It's always her.
From
I mean, that's
everything
kind
that
of the
I've
thing with
ever
dark
read,
spooky
she's
shit.
kind of a bitch.
Meridius turns and looks at Diona. Do you know, or did you know, that these temples were all related to her?
There's suspicion, but the stories speak of a falling out of these deities with Lul.
Meridius kind of sneers a little bit. Do you
But they
think
were-
that evil stops being evil
No, but
just
they do
because
turn
of a
on each
falling
other.
out? That may be the case. But if they are somehow related in any way, she may still have their pull.
But one big thing we need to figure out, Meridius. I will work from my end with my contacts, and anything you can find will help. Is who would want to release these things and what end?
As she says that, Meridius takes a pause and thinks. And then looks at her and says, "With as much as you know, and as much as you are not informing us about, have you heard of what has crossed from the plane of water to this realm?"
No. Just you said that you're pursuing a Triton.
Yes, but what I mean is, we don't come here often. Months have passed since I've been here, but prior to that, almost a year, we watched Sahagins, Murlocs, Naga leave our realm. And apparently they have arrived here. Someone is calling them. You're telling me you have no information in that regard?
None.
That is what brought us here. That is what caused us to bring the artifact. That also is part of what happened in the betrayal. I feel that what is happening is not just related to the deity that we would rather not tangle with. There's something grander at stake. Something that has been orchestrated behind the scenes for quite some time. If you are to work on getting your information, then we need a way for you and I to have conversation at great distance. And he pulls out the orb from the guild hall. Clearly, this is not good enough.
Well, maybe that's one thing we need to take care of before you depart.
Oh,
notice
there are
your-
a great many things we must
notice
take
your-
care of.
Communication devices there that some of you have. Maybe we can use something along that lines to work something out.
The other three, and he kind of motions at Trix and Spoofy and Keegan. They are in need of at least what the three of us already have.
Mm-hmm.
But a more secure, more permanent type of communication that can't be easily misplaced is something
Okay.
you and I must come to accord with.
The captain kind of clears her throat there, says, well, we have communication devices here that we can use to send and receive messages. It may not help you while you're on the ground, but at least this will be a central point where you can gather messages and send them.
Do you have one that is brave enough, if it is an urgent enough message, to deploy from the ship and find us inside of one of these temples?
Yeah, I have a couple that are crazy enough to do just about anything.
Very well. And he looks at Diona. You should get up with the captain and decide the best course of action for communications.
All right, so with the captain's recommendation of Cholt, is that where the group would like to go?
To be
Or
honest,
do you prefer another destination?
to be honest, we have no actual leads of what you're wanting us to acquire and accomplish. That seems to be the best place as any.
Oh, we're just casually going to kill fallen gods. Nothing big.
It's near Baldur's Gate as well, so it wouldn't be much for you guys to stop there if you need supplies.
As you say that, Meridius kind of looks at her. You say these words. I know not what this Baldur's Gate is. I'm not from here.
It is a major city on the continent of Faerun. just north of Chult.
Would it have the items necessary to fit out the party, as it were?
It would. It would be more challenging to find them here.
Then I would say that that would probably be our best destination. However, I would much rather go ahead and get the 3 remaining fitted out with at least communication of what
And if-
we already have, and he points at kind of what's hanging around his neck. Because half the party not being able to hear us is not sufficient.
Well, you have an artificer, and Captain, you have an artificer as well. Maybe they could prepare something that would work while you're in transit.
He turns and looks at Trix. Do you have any training in how to make these?
A little bit. I didn't pay the most attention in class that day, but I mean, I've seen it before. I mostly like the stuff that goes boom. So,
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the main office for your Heroes Guild is located in Baldur's Gate.
Shocker that she didn't pay attention in school.
It is true. The main office is in Baldur's
I
Gate.
will zap you, motherfucker.
Oh, so
Then I guess
Mordecai.
Baldur's Gate is where we should head to start with.
It is headed by a gentleman named Harrison. I do know that.
Do you know a lot about this man?
Not a lot. I've met him like twice. He has been to the office in Osse before in the past. I met him. He's very nice, very respectable. Reminds me a lot of you a little bit, Meridius. He's very cut and dry, to the teeth. I'm pretty sure he was probably in the military in the past. Do not mess with him though. He will definitely gives off the order. He will beat your ass.
Then you and I must have a little talk later about what you fully know of this man, so as I do not disrespect him in his authority.
Okay.
Like his authority.
Then it is decided. You have your heading there, Captain. Baldur's Gate, and then on to Chult. Then if everything works out there, we can decide what's next.
Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I need to pick up some like traveling activities, projects to work on, supplies, that kind of stuff. Before we go.
Trix, I think that's what they were referring to, is that we would leave here and go straight to Baldur's Gate and acquire.
Right, but like
better
it's gonna be a
provision.
long trip. So like I need stuff to do on the way there.
I thought that you were going to assist the engineer.
I mean, yeah, that too, but like there's so much time in a day. And
Yeah,
Ellen
she's-
has shit she wants to craft.
Not wrong.
The
Speak-
dude said I couldn't without getting supplies.
I mean, I was not
Speak-
privy to that information.
Speaking of,
And you all said we weren't leaving yet.
speaking of, is there any medical professionals on board? I do have a vast amount of knowledge in the medical field and could possibly provide assistance to help pass the time. I'm mostly knowledgeable in medicines and such.
There's not And exactly, let me look here. I don't think there's like a.
You ain't got no doctors on the airship?
Hang on, let me look here.
Where's the corpsman?
Yeah.
They don't go on the airships.
There's not a physician on board, no. No, we are actually short that position at the moment, but having you on board would help out a lot then. If you want to fill that role.
Feel like we're gonna have a lot of free time on our hands, so might as well help it.
Let's see.
You heard it here, chat. The crew doesn't care about dysentery.
They don't. Not one bit. They said to heck with it.
Okay, if the ship travels 20 miles an hour,
Oh god, math.
and you guys are about 3,500 miles away from Baldur's Gate,
Like I said, it's gonna be a long freaking trip. I need shit to do.
and the ship flies 24 hours a day, like they change out, the helmsman and continue flying, then it would take you a little over 7 days to get to Baldur's Gate in the air.
We get about 480 miles a day.
So, like 7.3 days.
Right.
Right? No, that's wrong. Hang on.
Fuck was wrong.
No, that's right. That's right. I was keeping something. I thought I was not adding something to the equation.
Rats.
All right. So, I would recommend that you pick up whatever supplies you need and leave as soon as possible then.
Listen, when we were leaving the guild hall, I was under the impression that we weren't like leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not like
In
you
my
weren't boarding to
defense.
fly away. So
Right.
yeah. So,
This was just like going to inspect the plane ahead of time, decide if that's what we wanted to do.
That's what I thought.
I
So,
don't have anything, so I'm good.
I will leave you with the captain, and she can show you where the quarters are, and you can make arrangements to depart. I will be at the guild hall if you need anything further from me for now. And I'll definitely be in touch.
Maybe you should monitor the communication device instead of Berkeley.
Yeah. As soon as we locate it.
Is that before or after you bed him again?
You and your coitus.
She just kind of looks over at you.
Coitus.
Did you actually just quit? Okay, Sheldon Cooper.
And Meridius has a very solid, straight look on his face, like he's not even playing with what he said.
Shocker.
I will stay out of your personal business, Meridius, and you stay out of mine, and good luck on your mission.
If it has to do with the guild leader losing focus, your personal business becomes mine.
They're definitely gonna bang him again.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely gonna bang him.
Absolutely.
As long as I don't have to see it.
Yeah, same.
Prevent you guys from scrying on them.
They're already being watched by somebody, so
Yeah. So somebody's getting a peep show regardless.
somebody's
likes
got
that-
a
He likes
somebody's got
that
a
moist
voyeurism
action.
charge coming their way.
He just likes the moist action. That's fine.
All right, so Diona departs, and since it's after 11, we'll stop there. So you guys, what you'll need to do for next time is just prepare what you want to do in the town, and all the things that you need to acquire and stuff like that. And
I was gonna say, I'll just give you a shopping list and you can tell me if I find shit or not.
Mordecai's
Then we'll-
easy. Everything he owns is on him.
there you go.
He doesn't need
Samesies.
anything.
Now you did agree to help Rennie clean up the guild hall, and then you
That's
guys
true.
left. So
He does.
And something happened.
He will go
at
back
the
and
guild
help
hall.
clean. He will
Okay.
go back and help.
there is
clean.
that one thing you need to do.
Trix
so-
does. Trix
Clannis
does want
can't
to
even get
poke
out of
back
cleaning
in
in
there
a
to see
D&D.
what happened.
Right?
No, I made him a janitor on purpose.
I was gonna say he made this character a cleaner. I mean, what
It
are we
was his
supposed to
idea.
do?
It was
It
his
was my
idea.
idea. It was my idea.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna stop there, and then we'll pick this up in 2 weeks. I guess that's on.
This is why
10th
he said
of
we
March.
didn't need roll 20.
So we'll pick this up then, and yeah. So I didn't think you. I mean, there's always possibility you could have just went into combat with somebody. I mean, you could have fought
Diona.
Diona.
We could have
You
fought
know?
Diona.
I mean,
Meridius
that
Could
could
have
have
thought
tried
happened.
to take over the ship.
I
It
thought
could
that's
have
what we
happened,
were gonna
so-
do, honestly.
We would have just had to went theater on the mind with the combat there because I didn't have a map. But hey,
Meridius
it's
thought
always up
about
to you
whooping the
guys.
shit out of her.
Look at us.
That
We
is true.
behaved for once, guys. We did a good job.
I wish Mordecai had Akminos as captain's hat.
That may not be the
Oh,
case
dang.
next session, depending on the
Listen,
reactions to the
In
thing
the,
I did
in
at
the
the
original
guild hall.
campaign, Akminos became captain of an airship.
That's true.
And it went swimmingly.
It went swimmingly.
Yeah, I
Sometimes.
don't know that we aren't gonna have pissed off adventurers at the guild hall trying to fight us. I make no promises.
Diz, is there a chance that we're going to run into the other us's when we get to Baldur's Gate?
We're in Netherdeep. Wait, where are we?
So-
We are not.
Oh wait, this is kind of happening simultaneously, so
we-
we don't.
we are
This
in-
could be
we
in the
are-
like 6 months, 7
They
days.
we
could
were
be
But you don't know
back
the
in Baldur's
timeline.
Gate by now.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
could be.
Or
We could still be in
Baldur's
Elturel.
Gate.
But we unless he started
Probably, right?
or puts us from the beginning, we never stepped foot back in Baldur's Gate except for JD.
I was gonna
Everybody
say.
else went to the next town, and then we ended up in Waterdeep and or
Daggerford,
El
Waterdeep,
Torrell.
and then Elturel.
I don't want
I
to go
will-
back to El Torrell.
I will say
Tim's
that
traumatized.
Or
we
El
haven't
Torrell.
lined up the timelines here, so you don't
That's
know
true.
exactly what's coinciding here. But
They may
if you,
not have even met Kyrie yet.
I would say if you do run into any of the other characters that the interaction never happened, so you have to keep the timeline, concurrent. You can't interact with them, or at least if you do, they don't realize that it was, you guys. So
People
I
from guild.
mean, JD was in Baldur's Gate for quite a while.
maybe
I might
you
run
do
into
interact with
myself.
them.
I
Maybe
might
you do
run into
interact with them.
myself.
And it was just an interaction that we didn't role play in the other one, so that's how
Right.
it'll be.
Maybe we'll
That would
stop
be
by
that'll
and
be interesting.
watch a
as shit,
pirate
chat.
get arrested in Daggerford. Who knows? It's fine. Break the world a little.
All right, so we're gonna stop there, and we'll pick up in 2 weeks. Other stuff we have going on. Nordicopia Network. Usually, we stream some retro stuff on Monday nights. So if you want to swing back by, 10:30 tomorrow, we'll be streaming some Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages in the 7th dungeon. Starting out on the 7th dungeon. So we're gonna make our way, hopefully, all the way to the end of that one. And
Making our way downtown.
getting close to the end of that one. Then
Walking
we'll get to
fast.
start Wind Waker. So, and then
Pace is
on
fast.
Thursday we will have 3 Old Men, where me and Clan Diesel and Double Up Buck just talk about random stuff. Last week we talked about Antonio Banderas and some other stuff.
We talked about Antonio Banderas for all of 5 minutes, chat. Everything else was about games.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
feel
we needed
like
to
Buck
come to the
ranted for
point
5
that
minutes.
that Buck loves Antonio Banderas.
I done told you, Clan.
Antonio Banderas.
Sam Elliott tops Antonio Banderas.
Well, I didn't say you didn't love Sam Elliott. You can love Sam Elliott and Antonio Banderas.
Anybody else hearing what he just said, or is it just me?
Sam Elliott tops Antonio Banderas.
I said it exactly how I meant to.
You know,
There's a movie,
that checks
ain't it?
out a little.
And speaking of things,
I mean-
Buck loves, it's streaming, and so we'll jump over to Buck there.
Way to transition that one, Diz.
I like it.
So
Segue.
every Monday and Tuesday, moving forward, we'll be doing Ark Survival Ascended at 11 a.m. Central Time. Because on Wednesday, which used to be Ark, is now going to be Nightingale at the same time at 11 a.m. And then on Fridays, we do 7 Days to Die, Darkness Falls, where we're currently heading towards the day 28 Blood Moon, but we still got about 2 more sessions before that happens. And then the first and third Saturdays of each month, which means next Saturday, we will have Idar Realm of Dragons, which is at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And the party is getting into a fight. I don't give a shit what they try to do. They're fighting on fucking Saturday. I promise. There's going to be a fight. Whether they try to take out the director or whether they actually get involved in the encounter I have planned, they are going to fight on Saturday. So we'll see how it plays out.
The director is currently secondary, but it has not been ruled out.
And then, of course, as you heard, I run with Nerdicopia Network on Thursdays with the Real Men. And then that's about it, except for what we do with Timmy Turbo, but I'll let him discuss that.
Segue to Timmy Turbo.
Hello, everybody. So, we start off every week on Tuesdays. Yes, Tuesdays. Roughly around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing a co-op campaign of Baldur's Gate 3 with myself, Double Odd Buck, and both members of Nerdicopia Network, Mr. Clan Diesel and Dr. Diz. It's just pure madness, honestly, in that game right now. That's probably the best word that I have to describe. It's just pure
Plan
madness.
tries to kill all of the other races.
How many
including his own.
times has Diz fallen into a bottomless pit this time, though?
Not yet. He hasn't
0.
fallen. He hasn't fallen.
it's a
into any pits
miracle.
yet.
I'm playing a monk character who is
It's hard.
she's a little ditzy. Love her heart.
No, Ellen. Clan is the one causing us to cause genocide and then fights with other creatures.
These
So
are
Clan's the
factions.
murder hobo of the group.
It
Got
happened one time on a roll that I've never missed until this time.
Yeah.
These are
All
factuals.
14 times I've started Baldur's Gate 3. I've never failed that roll until this one time.
I didn't know it existed.
You could have fooled me.
Can you
See,
only
I'm-
roll it if you're a tiefling?
No, I don't know. I've always just went over there and talked to those guys.
You know, that kind of actually does make a little bit of sense because, considering the fact that they hate the tieflings, so interesting. But yeah, we start off the week on Tuesdays at 10:30 p.m. doing that, and then we kick it over onto Wednesdays, starting at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's our solo version of Baldur's Gate 3. We're trying to get through honor mode. We are currently on our third character right now. Good old Kaylin, bless her heart. She's doing good so far. We did not stream last week due to multiple reasons, but we are going to be back in this week. We've got a few more things kind of in the works. So you'll just have to come on by and check us out and figure out what's going on then.
Which
Right.
Rolly's his least amount of time character, right? Which means he hates Rolly.
Excuse you. I love Rolly.
Nah, he just didn't have proper supervision for Rolly.
Yeah, that is true.
That he was offended because I said that I kind of half expect Rolly to end up dead because he'll wander off somewhere he shouldn't by himself and get into trouble. He was offended.
I was, and
I
rightfully
stand
so.
by that.
And
I
rightfully
stand by
so.
that assessment.
All right. Well, we got just some other housekeeping. We've got a Discord you can join if you want to keep up with us and interact with us on various topics. And we're going to stream. And we also have social media if you just want to hear about some what's on Clan Diesel's mind. Most of the time, it's
Sure.
moistness.
Oh,
There is
Oddly, a lot of moistness.
that is
I don't
true.
know why. Oh, yeah. And of course, we've got just like all good streamers, we have a merch shop, nerdicopia.net. You can go there and look at merch. And I'm always forgetting something. What am I forgetting?
You're forgetting NerdTube,
NerdTube.
And
Nerd
Sleuts.
our YouTube channel, where
And
you can go and
Sleuts.
watch previous episodes of this very show, its companion D&D, Not Actually Heroes, Cataclysm, and of course the previous episodes of Three Old Men, Super Retro Game Show Extreme, and After the Roll.
Yep. And we also have Sleuts. If you like Stream Loose cards, we have the abbreviated Sleuts. If you want information about it in chat there.
We have
and
sleuths.
We do have Sleuts. It is confirmed.
We have the Sleuts. Like Arby's.
We have a really hot airship crew.
We also have this coupon for half off a $5 pizza. I'm looking for somebody to help me go half a cent on it.
Use the code Clan Diesel to pay 10% more on the merch store.
Amazing. All right, so we'll call it there for the evening, and we'll see you guys in, if nothing else, in 2 weeks. So see you then.
2 weeks.
Bye.
Later.